And now, the central question of this video. Who was it? Putin, a clone, or someone else? I'm now showing you photos of the ghoul who attended this conference. So here's one photo. I want to tell you that this photo looks very much like... There was a clone like this about 5 to 7 years ago. He was called the Udmurt. That is clearly a person with Asian facial features. Right now, Putin, the person who is representing Putin, looks very much like him. That is, you have to agree, there's not much Slavic in this type. And in addition to that, those noticeably Botox cheeks, which are prominently sticking out on both sides of his face, strongly suggest that, besides something quite significant happening to the leader's underlying skull structure, they are also actively and deliberately trying to stretch and manipulate his facial features. Well, perhaps, just perhaps, it is indeed working to some extent. And now I really want to take a moment to show you a very clear and compelling visual comparison. And you can draw your own conclusion, whether it's Putin or not. So take a look. From left to right, Putin is on the left. This is the man who was ranting on TV screens in February 2022, saying he was starting the special military operation and God forbid anyone tries to stop him. That's him. Second from the left, this is the man who was at the inauguration, the year 2024. The third photo is of the person who was at those year-end results and was talking to people. There is a certain geometric resemblance between the one who was at the inauguration and the one who was at those year-end results we discussed. But the only thing I can say is that Botox and old age really do work wonders. And even though their geometry is quite similar, it's hard for me to say how, in just 3 years, a person could age and deteriorate like that. That's why I conclude that it's unlikely that the person at the inauguration was a processed clone. By the way, my video about the inauguration is online. It's even on my channel, where I prove that this is not the original president. So the second photo from the left is already not the original president. I consider the first photo to be the original. The third photo, the one from these 3 years, is either a mutilated version of the one from the inauguration or a new clone. Geometrically, by the way, they are still quite similar. And the last photo on the right, that's from 2001, that's President Putin, who really was the actual president. And here I have a question as well. Would you agree that the photo of the one from February 2022 and the photo, and these are the extreme photos, and the photo of Putin from 2001, they differ quite significantly? So the question is, where is the real president? Why do I believe that the one who announced that Putin was starting the special military operation, and God forbid if anyone gets involved in this, I came to this conclusion based on 2 factors. First, this Putin, the one in the photo on the left, almost made Narishkin wet himself at the podium. And the way all his entourage reacted to the leader's outbursts, Patrushev was there, Shoigu was there were many people, showed that they were extremely concerned and afraid of the man standing before them. Let me just remind you, it was still during the challenging and unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic period, and President Putin was notably sitting very far away from all of his close aides and trusted advisors, which also clearly means he was diligently taking exceptional care of his personal health and well-being. And one more factor. This same Putin took part in judo throws in 2019. It was the same person. And judo throws are also quite authentic. And then, when I compared these throws with the throws Putin did in the 2000s, Putin the judoka, as we remember, he's even a master of sports in history, the throws are identical. It's hard to train an elderly person who has never practiced judo to give them the style of the same fighter. That's why I believe that the person in the photo on the left is the real one, Putin. I also can't doubt that the person in the photo on the right is real, Putin, because this is a photo from 2001, and back then no one was even thinking about clones. That is, at that time, Putin had just barely won and become president after Boris Yeltsin. So the Putins you see, choose which one is real and which one is not. I have my own clear view on the matter, but I can't say that I am the ultimate authority because I haven't touched or seen any of these Putins, and I haven't even been near them. But nevertheless, I work with photographs.